Good day, everyone. It's Meredith, Leon-McCormack, World Bride Magazine. We have another special episode. Why is this so special? This young man came to me because I had the courage to go into one of my favorite places, Salon, school, Aveda, and I walked right into him and fell in love. And now he is part of the World Bride Magazine family, but he is also a New Yorker. And I want to introduce Dakota Malacara.
Hi, hi.
How are you?
Hi, honey. I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I totally love you, your energy. I love your excitement. So please tell everybody your full name, the what your business is or whose your business and what you do, and get that started.
Great. Yes, I'm happy to. So, my name is Dakota Malacara, and that really is my business. I am now my business. You'll learn a little bit more about myself, my past, the years I've been doing hair in this industry. But I am an independent hairstylist living out here in New York City now. I do a lot of different things. My hat is all over the place, which I enjoy. I find that variety for me is the spice of life. And the more variety there is, the more excited I become. So I am just an independent, I say just, but meaning I am an independent hairdresser. And it's taken me a lot to get to this point. I've had to work with a lot of different brands, under a lot of different people. I was an assistant for many years, and I just continue to grow and reach for something new. So that's who I am, Dakota Malacara. And you can find me in many different ways, which we'll talk about at the end. But that's who I am, and that's what I do right now.
Hey, hey. So let me tell you what I find so exciting about you because in this industry, as a hairdresser, a makeup artist, a manicurist, whatever, people used to think that being in the beauty industry, you were a high school dropout and this was all you could do.
Right.
People now to be a celebrity, to be a hairdresser or in anything in the beauty field, you can work with celebrities and you yourself become the celebrity in this field that we're in movies. They've won Emmys and Oscars and everything with all of that stuff because of the talent. Your ability to recreate someone. You can take you can cause hair, you can show hair loss, you can show hair growth, you can show design and everything else in between. And it takes a special kind of creativity to be able to do something like that. So it's a true talent. And the hair industry, oh my God. We're talking about trillions of dollars from product, the textures, and everything else because there was a time that this market did not even cater to Black women, and there was very limited life shelf space in beauty salons and beauty spaces, and you had to go to a specific area to be serviced the way you wanted. What brought you into this industry and why? Why did you stay in it? Tell me that.
So initially, what brought me in this industry was the creativity and the beauty. I was so fascinated as a kid in the 70s with my older female cousins having such beautiful Farrah Fawcett styled hair and lip gloss and satin pants and roller skating. And that was such a fun era. And everything was beautiful back then. Men had big blown out hair, perms were popular. And so there was a lot of hair and makeup happening in that time period when I was growing up. And then as I got a little older into high school, it was the big 80s. And boy, did I fall into that category. I had big shoulder pads and big belt buckles, and I had big hair. It was so much fun. I wore the guy liner back in the day. It was such a great time to be expressive with hair and makeup and fashion. And so I knew this was the industry that my heart had pulled me into. So I felt also a short period of my life to a little bit of an obligation and a duty and a privilege to be able to serve 4 years in the Navy as a hospital corpsman. But
Wow.
after I finished my service, I immediately went into cosmetology school, not knowing the direction I was going to go in.
Mm.
I went in pretty blindly and very open hearted to say, teach me what you can, and
Wow.
let's see where this leads me. Little did I know 30 years later, would I still be here living in New York City, doing all the things that I've done to this point. And the sky is still the limit. So there's so much that goes on in this industry. Yes, there's hair cutting, coloring, styling, all hair textures, but boy, we get to touch people's hearts. And being in the medical field, I feel like there's a tenderness and a necessity to be able to hear people's needs so much further beyond just hair cutting, coloring, and styling. So that's what keeps me in this industry today.
Wow. You
Yeah.
said a lot, and I forgot you were in the Navy, and I find that to be super interesting. So you do have a medical background. Um, so that's the interesting part because I think with the rise of more cancer patients coming, forward with their situation in life, people are starting to see hair as a necessity, not just making people feel good and look good, but for cancer patient, it's a traumatic thing for them to lose their hair. And now that's just one part of it. Then you have the medical condition of people losing their hair with alopecia and different diseases and all that. That's why, in my opinion, and why I wanted to have you as part of this part of this conversation and series of talking to experts is that people need to understand that you guys are literally working with chemicals, things that could be harmful if not properly used. So licensing, you guys being licensed is important. That's not optional. So gone are the days where we could go to our grandmother's kitchen and do hair. I mean, we're talking about those. That was my days. My mama used to do my hair in the kitchen every Sunday. It was a ritual. I lived for that. That was me, mommy, and my sister's time to bond, and we were getting our hair washed, pressed, and all this other great stuff. But for people today, the routine of going to a salon, it's in the Black community. I know it's definitely the bonding, the women, the conversation. It's just such a beautiful thing. And now there's the glamour in it, getting your hair done and coming out with a fresh blowout or whatever it is that you got. But how do you feel, and why do you feel it's so important that people that claim the title that you have value their licensing? Why do you feel it's so important?
It's very important because I currently now am also teaching at the Aveda Arts Institute in New York, which is the
Mhm.
cosmetology program, the foundation for everyone to get involved into this career. It is very important because the licensing is important because we teach everything you just mentioned. We teach science, we teach chemistry,
Mhm.
biology. There is a lot of skin disease and disorders that we learn about. It's not just how to curl your hair,
Mhm.
how to give a highlight. There's so much more involved. Here at this foundational level, we also teach signs for potential domestic abuse. And
Wow.
because we are the first person that may see someone underneath their hair. Is there
Wow.
a danger potentially happening in someone's life? And we then have to know how to be able to have a conversation for someone to give them the right guidance to be able to find help. Or if there is a skin disease or disorder or a
Mhm.
mole that we have seen, I've known this client for 20 years, let's say, and I noticed that something has changed on their skin. And I
Mhm.
personally had a guest with conversation about adopting and so forth. There was a period of time where I was going through that, which didn't work out and it was fine. But have this conversation with a longtime client of mine
Mhm.
salon that I owned, she considered having a physical for potential adopting a child also. In her physical, she found out she was in the very early stages of breast cancer. And
Wow.
so these very personal conversations we have with our clients gives us we have a license to be able to know how to identify and have these personal conversations with clients and give them potential guidance to seek further help from a professional in that field. So licensing is very, very important. If we do not have a school for licensing, we could potentially cause a lot of harm to someone if we put chemicals on someone's hair without understanding the chemistry of chemicals reactions, then we could create a lot of damage. So licensing is very.
It's so interesting that you said that. I remember, I think it was during the pandemic, I started to see more and more posts about barbers being able to identify helping men because men suffer a lot of depression because they're told, don't cry, you're a sissy if you do this, if you do that, you don't show your heart, you don't do any of that stuff. Like they would, the name calling, the shaming of having men just show their vulnerability, which literally just drove me insane. And so for me, when I saw that barbers were being, especially in certain communities, the black and brown communities, they were telling them that you can't, tell them what to do, but you can encourage them. They had phone numbers and they were being trained to be able to identify if this person's in need. You don't pry, but what you do is you may suggest certain thing, and because they feel more vulnerable sitting in your chair, they'll tell you intimate things. So it's true, you become psychologists for a lot of your clients.
It is very true. I did actually go to a seminar with this psychiatrist who studied the hairdresser industry. And in his discoveries, he realized that people are touched in public by a stranger. If you've come to a salon for the first time and this hairdresser puts a cape on you and starts to have a conversation, they might put their hand on your shoulder, you instantly give an open line of trust to someone you have not met. And that is something I take very seriously. I have a lot of respect for it. And it's helped me in my career to build a very successful career in owning a salon for over 20 years, having a big, beautiful staff, a big, beautiful clientele. It's helped me in the industry behind the scenes with New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week, in having that compassion with
Mhm.
models. And just having compassion, skills, yes, skills are, you have to have skills to do hair cutting, coloring, styling beautifully, all hair textures. Yes, you have to have that. But compassion will help you to build a strong foundation and a beautiful, flourishing career, in my
I
opinion.
love that. I love that. So now you touch a little bit more on the fact, a little bit on the fact that you were a salon owner. How has that transition been for you? Because that's huge. You go from owning your own salon for years to now you're teaching and you're freelancing. So how big of a shift is that? And then you relocated on top of it.
Yes, so as you said, I was a salon owner back home in Colorado, where I'm originally from.
Hmm.
And I owned our salon together. We had it open for 22 successful years. We were very fortunate to have won multiple awards as best salon, best friendliest business. I as well been very fortunate to win awards as best hairdresser in my city. And so it takes a lot of effort, as does anything I feel like you want, whether it's your health, your exercise, your diet, a career. It takes a lot of effort. But if you love what you do, then the effort feels almost effortless at times. And so running a salon, multiple locations, we had 5 different locations at one time,
Wow.
helped me, I think, to understand a bigger variety of personalities and how to be able to communicate well with myself, to be able to get my point across to my clients,
Hmm.
my employees. And during that time, I was very fortunate to have been picked up to work backstage for New York Fashion Week. So twice a year, every season, fall, winter, spring, summer, I would fly to New York City from Colorado, and I would work backstage New York Fashion Week. And so the transition seemed pretty organic in the
Hmm.
way that I started making more connections out here.
Nice.
I had come out here for about 8 years steadily, twice a year.
Wow.
Then every once in a while I would come out for Bridal Fashion Week, which is a little something that was added into the traditional Fashion Week. Yes, we love bridal. And so I would come out and do these shows, made more connections. And finally, thank goodness to my amazing husband, he said, you know, Dakota, you are getting busier out in New York. You're flying out there more frequently for different events. I was doing
Right.
different ad campaigns. Private clients were needing work out here. I flew out from Colorado to New York to style hair for the U.S. Olympic team to appear on the Today Show. And so just things were pulling me to New York.
Hmm.
And so from his recommendation, he says, it's time for you to move out there. And if things don't work out in New York, we always have our successful salon for you to come back to. So I
Wow.
came to New York and things picked up. They picked up. And about 9 months after living out here alone at the time, we decided we are going to wrap up the business. It was a tough decision, but
Wow.
it felt right. Everything has to feel right. It has to
Absolutely.
be the right place at the right time for the right reasons. And that's exactly what happened to us. We were very fortunate to help many of our employees build successful careers of their own.
Wow.
Five employees went on to become salon owners. So
Wow.
yes, we gave them the tools and the experience and the courage to confidence to know that they also can go do it. So they did. Many of our employees have bought their first cars working in my salon, bought their first homes working in our salons, got married, had children. So lots of wonderful, successful things happened. So it was time for me to go on to benefit my career again. I
Hmm.
had a successful career as a master stylist, then as a salon owner, and now an independent hairdresser working out in New York City. And everything has worked out very well. I got to meet you, which was amazing. And we get to work together so often.
But
So the
doesn't
the
it's
question
no, it's not even a transition. I feel like it's an evolution. It's like you're still evolving and you
evolution.
have so many great things. I can't wait for you to write this in a book.
I've been uh, thinking about that actually. I just don't even know how to go about doing it. But someday
Start.
I have so many stories and so many experiences throughout my life that I only think about them when I have a conversation. And I think it could be very interesting to see the journey of my life, where I've come from and what I've gone through and where I am now, and to find out where my future is going. There's so much more that's going to happen. A lot of things are already on the horizon,
Right.
so that I'm continuing on, and I don't see my career slowing down at any point in time right
I
now.
don't think so. I don't think your students are gonna let you. I know I'm not, because as long as I could pull you in, I'm bringing you in. No, I think like you have so much to offer, and that's the one thing that, we were joking about it. People think that teachers are people that are unsuccessful at whatever career they were, so they settled for teaching. And it's like, no, you choose this path. You said, I want to help the next generation of children, young people, or people for that matter, come into this field that you passionately love. But the beautiful thing about you is you've literally lived all the stages of what anyone can do in any career that they choose, from apprenticing, assisting someone, to traveling the world with it, to working for movies, TV, editorial, to now working for, shows around the world where you can be guest speaker and everything else. Like, you're it for the kids. Like you give them hope. Like you're the mentor that every young person, every person that starts something new should have, because you can relate to every aspect in which everybody walks the path. I think that's bravo to you, bravo to you. So now weddings, we're about weddings and everything else, but more of a lifestyle in position. What stage should a bride be consulting a hairdresser? Because I feel like people think that you're asking them to find a new hairdresser for the wedding. That's not what we're asking people to do. We're literally introducing them to you as a master, because some people don't go to the hairdresser unless it's a special occasion. And then, because I'm like, I could do my hair myself. But there's things that I will never do myself. I might condition, wash my hair, do a little styling, but I'm not playing around with a box color. Not with this color. I know I did it before, but I'm not doing that. My my hairdresser Mac, I will call, I will text. I love his wife, I love his kid, but I need an appointment.
That's right. Yeah, so as far as brides go, I feel like it's important to start interviewing, if you will, hairdressers about a year before the actual wedding. And
Hmm.
that means you have to give up your favorite hair cutter or your favorite colorist.
Hmm.
Your favorite regular hometown hairdresser is great. That's beautiful. If they're able to give you a bridal style that you're looking for, fantastic. If they're not, start searching for a master stylist who can give you the bridal style that you're looking for. Best thing to do is you can Google review, you can look up Instagram pages,
Hmm.
ask around. Somebody's gotten married once before who can do bridal hairstyles, and then go have an interview. It's okay to say, "Hi, I'm interviewing hairdressers for my special day." It is a special day, and you should make sure you're going to interview. You're going to taste cakes. You want to get the right cake. You're going to look at different gowns. And so, why not look at different hair, right? So, have a practice run with a hairdresser. If it doesn't suit you, it's okay. It's okay. Thank them for their time and then go look for another hairdresser. Give yourself enough time so you're not stressed 3 months before the wedding, still trying
Right.
to find a hairdresser.
Yeah, I agree with you. And one thing, as I love YouTube. I live by YouTube movies, university. I want to learn something, I can Google it, how to fix it. But to do my own hair, I'm not going to the YouTube University of Hair. Absolutely not. That's not where you want to. And so for me, I love the fact that you're encouraging our viewers and our readers to please go interview people. They think like once they meet someone, like they're stuck to it. I don't want to hurt their feelings. No, this is not about hurting your feelings, because the energy that you're going to have with that person, who wants that? Like it doesn't make any sense. So now we're coming up to the wrap up. So we have these girls, they're seeing you, they're seeing your work, they're following you on social media now. How do they book an appointment with you? Can they get a consultation? What is your process for them to interview you for their special day, special occasion, and so on and so on?
So people can find me probably two easy ways, either on my Instagram, which is my name at
Hmm.
Dakota Malacara, or on my website, which is dakotahair.com.
Fantastic.
Places you can reach out to me. We can have a conversation via text, via phone call. And then if we want to have a face-to-face visit, I am able to visit different locations. Sometimes I'm here at the Aveda Institute. Sometimes I'm someplace else, but we'll find a place that's most suitable. It could even be in your own home. That's perfectly fine.
Hmm.
And we can discuss looks, prices, the process of what it takes,
Hmm.
and go from there. And if for me personally, if I'm not the right person for you, that's okay. I want you to feel confident in knowing that, and maybe I might even be able to recommend someone else.
Right. See, that's boldness. That comes with years of experience of not feeling intimidated by someone. I had the pleasure and honor of working with you at one of the shows for New York Fashion Week, and I just watched the way you were so hands-on with your assistants, but at the same time, you wasn't hovering.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing is, and I think that's what goes back to how you treated your employees from your salon. You nurtured them so much. So by the time it was your time to say, I'm going to close this part of the chapter of my book, you were like a mom and dad and said, no, now it's time for you guys to fly. How can I help you? But you prepared them, which is really selfless, so bravo to you on that. And I am excited to continue our journey. I can't wait to release our cover with you. I think it's going to be really super. Well, no, yeah, the cover and more stuff that's coming. So you're magical. You're a wonderful human being. And I see why your students are attached to you. It's so funny watching them. Like, they're so excited. Like, you are their celebrity. Like, I watched these kids with you. And then, I mean, they were adults, but they were just so excited to be around you and in awe. And I'm glad you are part of our family in whatever way. And I want to make sure that brides and hotels that we work with know that your service is available to them through, by calling you directly. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
Wonderful.
you. I'm very happy to be with you and with everybody who's watching this. I look forward to hopefully connecting sometime in the future.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it, everyone. That was our Dakota, but we're willing to share him with you. So please make sure you follow him on social media. We're going to have it down here somewhere so you can contact him and check out his work, book an appointment, book a consultation. He already told you. He is not thin-skinned. So if you don't work, you can find someone else or he'll help you find someone else. That is what security in my talent looks like. So until the next time, ciao, Bella.